If you want to fill your calendars with clients that actually want to spend with you, then just follow these really simple steps. My name is Mark Bailey. I've owned a photography studio for 15 years. And if you're finding this useful, click subscribe, because on the next video, I'm going to go through how we handle that really awkward pricing question. In today's video, what we're going to cover is the final step of the phone call. So in our previous two videos, we've gone through the intro, which is massively important. Then we've gone through explaining what the offer is that the client has come in on, and also about the booking deposit. Now, it's really important, like we say in that video, that you have a booking deposit. If you don't know why, go watch that video and then come straight back to this one. After that, the next part that we're going to cover is how we get our clients to carry on up that nice emotional peak and that journey, so at the end of it, they want to give you their deposit and book in, and they're really excited to come and see you. So we've gone through intro, we've gone through the offer, we've gone through the deposit. Now we're going to talk about the session. And you have to remember, you don't just want to give them information. This is how I started 15 years ago. I'd have people phone me up, they would ask about a certain session that I was offering, and I'd tell them about it. And then they'd be like, fantastic, thank you very much, and then not book in. Very quickly, I was looking at it and analysing it, going, what is going wrong? They're asking about this session, this cherub session that I used to do. And they're getting all the information, I'm telling them everything about it, I'm explaining it really well, but they're not booking in. And it's a simple case of, I wasn't selling it. They're asking for information and I'm giving them information. My job on the phone is not to give them the information. My job's to get the booking. If that means I've got to give them the information to get the booking, then I need to sell it to them. And the way that you sell it is by getting excited. Make them end this phone call, or even during the phone call, feeling like, if I don't book this now, I'm going to miss out on this. And there are other studios, but what as good as him? What if they're not as good as her? I need to book this now. So there's a few things that we would use. First of all, we're going to use social proofing. We're then going to use fear of missing out. We're also going to let them know that it's your favourite type of session, regardless of what it is. Let's be honest, you're not lying. If somebody wants to book in right now and do a shoot with you, it's your favourite type of session. It's a brand new session that's just booked in. How can you not be excited about it? So I would go through with the client and explain that this session is my favorite type of session. You're going to have so much fun. And then explain what's involved in the session. One of the biggest things that will stop a client from booking in with you is if there's any uncertainty, if they're not too sure what's involved, if I need to go away and think about it, or what if I make a mistake, what if this isn't right? And what I find that works really well is when the client's on the phone, if we just explain every single step of what they're going to experience, it takes away any of that fear. It takes away any sort of objection that might pop up, or anything in the back of their mind that's going, wait, what about this? And so I would explain everything. So I'd explain that at the beginning of the session, we do a nice little mini shoot, and that just eases everybody into it, gets used to the surroundings. It's a little bit of fun. It'll take 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes, however long it takes to get everybody natural. And then I would then carry on about the rest of the session. Now that will be different from shoot to shoot. What I will do is I'll do a video on how we deliver this from start to finish for one of our cake smash sessions. But for you, look at your session and just split that up into sections so you can talk about this will happen, then we'll do this, and then this happens. Once I've gone through that and I've got them really excited, I can then go and ask for what date they want to book in with us. Now, one of the key things before you get to that stage, make sure you've got people's names. Have a piece of paper and write the important details down just in front of you. We have sheets that will prompt us to ask certain questions so that we don't miss any of this data and we can refer back to it. So if mum's name is Stacey, make sure you no longer talk to her as a third person. Talk to her and use her name. When you're talking about them coming into the session, you never use phrases like, so if you do decide to book with us, or if you are thinking of coming, it needs to be, so when you arrive, when you get here. And it just changing the language ever so slightly starts to put these little seeds in the back of their head, so they start to tell themselves, yes, I am going to go. When you're then talking about little baby, when baby comes in for the cake smash. So when they come in, they're going to see the cake, they're going to get really excited. No, we don't talk like that. We will use baby's name. Let's say baby's called Max. So when Max comes in and he sees the cake, he will go crazy. Max is going to love it. So I'm starting to talk as though I know the family. Dad, I don't refer to dad. When I say I don't refer to dad, I don't mention dad as dad. I will mention him as Tom, if that's his name, obviously. And again, just using all these familiar phrases will really help. I'll also listen out for the language that they're using. If they use the word lovely a lot, or if they're using the word fantastic a lot, I'll make a note of that and I'll start to mirror that language. And again, we'll just start to connect on a different level. And it'll just help them make that decision that I am the right choice for this client to book in with. Now, I've got them all nice and excited. And then when it comes to the actual bookings part of it, I don't want to give them too much choice. The more choice you give your client, the more decisions they've got to make. And the more decisions they've got to make, the higher the likelihood is that they're going to go away and have a think about it and come back to you with all the answers. They don't want to make the wrong mistake. So I've seen people work for me on the phones and they've gone, right, so I don't have anybody in that day. So you can have any time that you want. Or I don't have anybody booked in that week because it's 2 months ahead. So you can have any time, what's best for you. And they never get the booking. What works a lot better is if you turn around and go, so I've got Thursday available. I've got 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Which one's best for you? Now, what I've done there is I've taken away nearly every deciding factor. The only thing they need to decide now is morning or afternoon. Now, if they don't know what time their partner's going to be available, they will know in the back of their head what part of the day is best. Are they going to have to go in work, but they're probably likely to get the afternoon off, or vice versa? What's easier? And they can make a decision. Now, that really helps. If a client turns around and goes, I can't make 2 o'clock, but we could do 3 o'clock. Use your imagination. Tell them either straight out, yep, I can do 3 o'clock, or just go, right, let me have a look. Let me see if I can move things around for you. And you definitely do the 3 o'clock. Right, I'll make some rearrangements and I'll make sure I get you booked in for 3 o'clock. Now you need to take the deposit. Now this is really important. When you take that deposit, you've got to ask it with confidence. Again, I've seen people where they're amazing at the intro, they're amazing at the offer explanation, the deposit explanation. They get really excitable about the session the client wants to book. And then it comes to that payment, the commitment part. And they've struggled because it's just not within them to ask outright, do you have your 16 digits there, please? Now, even the way I've just said that is wrong, as in, I'm giving them the option to say no. Now, think about it. The way that technology is now, we've all got our card details on our phone and our banking apps, so everybody can get a hold of their details. It's very rare people ever leave the house or don't have their actual wallet or purse with the card details in there for you to take that deposit. Now, but it can happen, but like I say, it's very rare. Now, with this particular member of staff that I'm talking about, he was fantastic at all of these, but when it came to asking for that deposit, he would use words or phrases. So, are you okay to pay that now? So, would that be okay for me to take that now? Have you got your card with you? And these were all just open questions that allow the client to say, no, let me just think about this before I pay. If you just simply change your language to just, right, Stacey, so we've got that booked in, that's Tuesday at 3 o'clock. The only thing I need to do now is just take your deposit. So I need your long card number, please. Can I have the 16 digits? Boom, straight in. 9 times out of 10, they will just give you the deposit. Now, if you feel awkward about asking for a deposit, one thing I always love to refer back to is think about booking a holiday. Let's say you're going to go with TUI, Jet2, whatever package holiday company you want to go with. If I want to book that holiday, if you want to book that holiday right now, you've got to pay your deposit today. Then you can't turn around and say, can I pay it when I turn up at the airport? Do you mind if I just go away and I'll give you a call? They're going to say the exact same thing to every single person that says that. Nope, you do need to pay your deposit now. One thing I will say is that the prices will change because they do fluctuate and go up and down. Now, this is obviously holidays and flights and things like that. So they can get away with saying that and the general public just accept it. It probably never used to be like that, but that is what it's like now. And we don't question it that the price has gone up because we booked 2 or 3 days later. So we can take something from that. So when I have a client that says to me, do you mind if I pay it next Friday? Or can I just pay it on the day? First of all, pay it on the day? No, because the whole point of the deposit is to secure the slot. The idea is that it secures your slot and makes sure it doesn't go to waste, because we're going to book a photographer for you, we'll get the cake involved, or whatever it is might be that is needed for that session. And that just secures the slots. If you don't pay the deposit, nobody books in. Simple as, whether you're a fully paid client or whether you've got this on an offer or whether you've got the gift certificate for free. So that would be the first way I would handle that. The next thing is somebody saying, oh, well, is it okay if I give you a call back in 2 days and I'll pay the deposit? I'm going to use fear of missing out. Now, I'm going to say to the client, right, you can give me a call back in 2 days. The one thing I will say though is it's very unlikely we'll still have the session. The response we've had for this offer is overwhelming and we're not going to be able to get through everybody. So the session will probably go, which will be a shame. If it is available, I will give you a call in 2 days. If you are able to do it, or today, you give us a call back, and if it's available, I will get you booked in. That fear of missing out is so valuable. Now, the truth be told, if your client can't afford to pay your deposit today, then they're not your client. If they can't afford the deposit, can they afford your pictures? The answer is probably no. On top of that, what is more likely happening is, I'm just a bit unsure. I just need to check this, or I just need to check that. There's just something they haven't got that 100% certainty with you. So this is why we always tell them that the deposit is fully refundable. And should they need to change their session or even cancel it, no questions asked, just let us know by 3 o'clock the day before. After 3 o'clock, it's non-refundable because I can't fill the session, and that makes perfect sense. So that is how we would ask for the deposit. Now, some people are not comfortable giving their card details over the phone. You may not be able to take card details over the phone. When you get a chip and PIN device, you have to apply to be able to take card payments via the phone. Now you may decide I don't want to do that, there's a higher charge involved. So if you use the same CRM system that we use, we're able to send them a payment which can either go by text or by email or WhatsApp. And then they're able to click that and just pay straight away. And it's really nice when that happens. Again, if that's something that you want me to go through and show you a video of our CRM system, please put a comment or drop me a message and I'll do that on the next video. That's our deposit. And then we take that deposit and that secures their slot. From that point then, we make sure the client's all nice and happy and we let them know what's going to happen next. We're going to send them a confirmation email. There'll be frequently asked questions on there, so do have a read of it because it'll give you the best advice to get the most from your session. We'll also give you a reminder text the day before your session and also on the day of your session so that you don't forget it. So everything will be there. I'll also make sure the photographer gives you a call before your session just to run through some ideas and things. Apart from that, you're all booked in. I can't wait to meet you. So excited for little Max to come in. He's going to have such the best time and I've already got some great ideas and I know what the photographer is going to be like. They're going to be amazing for you. And then we end the phone call and that's it. From that point on, you need to make sure you do send your emails and your text messages and anything else that you've promised them. You may have a digital portfolio that you want to send them to give them some ideas as well. Now again, with our CRM system, once we book somebody into our calendar, that's all we have to do. We've got it all set up so all of these emails and text messages all go automatically at the correct times and correct dates. It works great and it just takes off so much pressure off us because it is upsetting when a client is phoning you up going, hi, I've not had my confirmation email, or hi, I've not heard from you, I don't know anything what I'm supposed to bring or anything like that. Once we implemented that system to automate it all, it made our lives so much easier. So there you go, that's a 3-part series where we've gone through the intro to keep your clients on the phone. That's massively important, so definitely watch that one. Then we go through how we explain our offer and our deposit. And then in today's video, we've gone through how we would get them excited, get them at an emotional peak with our session, take the deposit, get them booked in, and then the follow-up. Now, in the next video I'm going to do is going to be about how we answer the price question. It's going to come up. For years, I used to be terrified of this question, thinking, oh no, because I produced it, I didn't value it at what my clients do. It's a service that they can't provide for themselves at the level that we can. So there's a big difference in value to me and value to them. So I used to be scared of this. Now I'm not scared of my pricing whatsoever. Clients need to know. It's an educational bit, and it's also a filter to make sure you're bringing in the right type of clients. So subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next video. It's going to be how we handle the price question. It works so well. We developed this, I would say, around about 10 years ago, and we've trained many studios on this and they still use it today. So it's a massive video that you need to watch. Won't be very long because there's not much in it, but it's a great video, really powerful tool. Give us a subscribe so you don't miss out, and I'll catch you on the next video.